This is a 4.7 Dodge engine. The Dodge already has a 4.7. We've already rebuilt it. This one here I got from the wrecking yard in case I need parts for that one. But I went ahead and a friend of mine needs a 4.7 engine for his truck, so we're going to rebuild this. But before we do, I want to take it apart. I'm going to let my kids put it together and take it apart a few times, teach them a few things about engines. But right now we got to tear it apart, check everything out, see if it's serviceable, because it did come from a wrecking yard. So it looks sound, but when you get inside it could be tore all up. So it does turn over. Harmonic balancer, we already got the water pump off of it. Best way to remove a harmonic balancer is a 21 millimeter. It's just a bar. Slip it in. I've already broke this one loose, but and you just take your breaker bar. And once you get it locked in like that, just push. It'll come right off. I already had this one broke loose. But I got a puller. The old-fashioned pullers won't work on these new engines. You got to have the smaller puller. The one I got from eBay. TikTok has them, eBay has them, Amazon has them. They're just about everywhere. I gotta adjust my camera. We got a Ziploc, put all the bags in Ziploc so we don't lose nothing. I'm gonna adjust the camera down here and show you how to do this. Adjust the camera. This is the puller. It's just a small puller. I think this is going to use the long rod, if I remember right. So it has a spot where this goes inside of it, and that goes in there. And then when you tighten it up, it's going to pull that puller off. The puller's going to pull that pulley off. So we'll get set up. Is the camera set up, ma'am?
Yep.
All right. Let's see if we can get this to work without making too many bloopers. This hooks right in there, tightens up. And you can use a socket or it's a 3/8 ratchet. I do have a 3/8 breaker bar if it starts getting too tight. Most of the time, they just come off. I have had a few of them get really stubborn and really have to work at it. But for the most part, it's already moving. It's coming off there. It's just a little cheap Harbor Freight 3/8 ratchet. It don't take much force. It's about to come loose. But you can't get this housing all the way off to get to the timing until you pull this off. And there it is. And it's loose. Just like that. Drop my bar. Here's the harmonic balancer off. Pretty simple. Now, get these last few bolts. We couldn't get to them yesterday. Don't remember what size they were. Got too much stuff in my way. Let me think. I think they were a. What size is this one? That's a 10. They're gonna be a 13 for sure. Yep. They are a 13. See if we can't bust these last 4 bolts loose. Some of them are tight. Too much fun. I got a full audience over here watching me. It's alright though, I'm going to pay it back whenever they got to rebuild it themselves. I can watch them and smirk and laugh at them.
We're supporting you.
It's alright. Keep your bolts. I have a Chilton on this, so it'll tell me where the bolts. I got all the water pump bolts are in one bag. Keep all your bolts. Ziplocs are amazing because you can label them. So as I pull it apart on this right here, I'll put the date 4.7 water pump, and then I'll seal it and I'll put it in my box, and on my box I'll put 4.7 and I'll put the date. That way all the dates match, all the engine stuff matches, and then that way there I know where to find it. If I remember right, I think there's 2 bolts in the bottom down there on this one. Nope. And there's the water pump housing. Here's all your timing components. Looks like there is some damage in there, so we might have a few hit valves. This is a collision engine, so if it jumps, it does tear stuff up. And it looks like we definitely got something going on in there. But I'm gonna get this head off here, and probably that's where I'm gonna stop today. I'm gonna get the head off. I don't know what's our time right now, ma'am.
7 minutes and 45 seconds.
So we have a few more minutes. Let's see if we can get the head off and give a look at these valves. See if we can hit valves. That'll be the kicker. Pretty sure that's a T30. Yeah, it's T30. Alright, that's actually a T40 is what that is. It's a T40 bit. So loosen it up. So there was some damage up in the timing chain area, so I'm kind of thinking it's probably been see a jump time or something. Something's happened. But it's a wrecking yard engine, we'll figure it out. Most of what I do is, if the heads can be saved, they'll be saved. If not, then we'll go from there. Alright, so let's put all of our head stuff in this, and we'll put our timing stuff in a gallon bag, so we know exactly what we got. We'll mark which side we came off of. Set this over here. That's the cam. You see it's been sitting in the weather. It's definitely a wrecking yard engine. With wrecking yard engines, you never know what you're going to get. But it's alright. That out of there. Kind of giving it a look. Got too much junk in my way. Make sure I get this out of my way. You got two bolts on the head that sits right in here. If you loosen that, take this one out, it lets it move so you get two of them. If not, you'll spend all day trying to fight them. And I think those are 10 millimeters. 10 millimeter, I'm pretty sure it's what they are. We're gonna find out real quick. But they're right here. And you definitely gotta, they are 10 millimeter. They're in a kind of a weird spot. You can't reach them and get to them unless you loosen the timing stuff up. But we are about to get this head off here. Then when I come back next week, we'll do the other head. And get all this, get this head off, and then get everything labeled that I got off so far, so we don't get nothing lost or confused. Get it all put away. These 4.7 engines are actually really good engines. The only fault they got is Chrysler decided they were going to paint the inside oil pan. So as they get a little time on them, a little life on them, and the heating of the oil, cooling down the oil, that oil comes loose, plugs up the pickup tube. Once you plug up the pickup tube, starves the engine for oil, it blows up your engine. So most of the time, if you take these 4.7s and you drop the oil pan on them, and you take the time to get all the oil off, the paint off the oil pan, they'll run forever. I've already broke these loose off camera. You definitely want to X them. You don't want to just start unloosening them. You want to definitely go the reverse of how they were tightened. And this one, because it is aluminum. If you start going crazy on it without Xing them, you will mess the head up. You cannot reuse the head bolts, so they are stretch bolts. So once you take them off here, I'm not going to throw them away, because like I said, I have the girls build the engine, tear the engine apart, build the engine, tear it apart probably 2 or 3 times before I actually build it to be go down the road. But I got new pistons, rings. I haven't ordered the mains yet, and I haven't ordered the new valves for the heads, because I got to look at the heads to see what damage is in there before if I got to buy brand new heads, then I don't want to waste the money on valves. So we got to check the seats. These Hemi engines, well, I guess pretty much aluminum head wide. They're really bad about dropping seats. So if people start neglecting their engines start running hot, and next thing you know, they're dropping a valve seat, and cause all kinds of havoc. We're almost ready to remove the head. Couple more minutes. My friend, he has a Dodge truck with a 4.7. He also has one with a 5.7. This 5.7 has 300,000 miles on it. We are about to rebuild that engine, so that's coming soon. Usually he's over here helping me, but he couldn't make it over here today, so I'm doing it by myself. Four more bolts. But yeah, if you pull one of these 4.7s out, and you're in a wrecking yard or whatever, you have a 4.7 older truck, like this, an 07, but you're better off to pull the engine out, drop the oil pan, put a brand new pickup tube in it, oil pickup tube, new oil pump, and clean all that paint off that oil pan. And that engine will run you forever. Alright, got these 2 bolts left in here. These little bolts in here are hard to get to. Be careful, you drop them. Right now is not a bad thing, but when you put it all back together, it can be a real pain in the butt. So that needs to come right off here. Alright, let's see if it's a hit. Alright. Pull the camera down, man. Alright, you can see that there's no damage. Nothing's hit. You can definitely tell it's been setting for a while. So the heads are definitely at least this side is worth rebuilding. The pistons, it don't look too bad. So anyway, we're gonna set this back on there and wrap it up. When I come back in, we'll do the other side and we'll go through that.